Aging brings wisdom, but also some habits no one warns you about. The worst part? You might not even realize you're doing them. These small but ugly habits can push people away, damage relationships, and even make you feel isolated. But don't worry, once you spot them, they're easy to fix. Today, we're exposing 9 surprising mistakes seniors make as they age, and trust me, number 7 is one that catches everyone off guard. So stay with me, because these small changes can help you stay connected, respected, and happier than ever. Meet Harold. He's 74 years old, retired, and has spent his life exploring history through books and travelling to places that shaped our past. But lately something's been bothering him. He's been feeling invisible. His kids don't visit like they used to, conversations feel shorter, and even his neighbours seem distant. He's been asking himself, what changed? Harold isn't alone in feeling this way. Many seniors experience this shift as they age. So what happened to Harold? He unknowingly picked up some habits that made his aging process harder than it had to be. He started talking about his health problems all the time, became a bit set in his ways, and even stopped caring about his appearance. These small things piled up and affected his relationships. But the good news? Harold is making changes and he's seeing the difference. It's not too late for anyone, and you can avoid making the same mistakes. So let's take a look at these habits that can impact your life and relationships as you age, and how you can reverse them before they start taking a toll on you too. Neglecting personal grooming. As we age, certain tasks like personal grooming can become less of a priority. Sometimes it's not that we don't care, but life simply gets busier, or we might feel less energy. But here's the thing. Neglecting personal grooming, like overgrown nails, skipping showers, or wearing the same clothes for days, can make us feel invisible to others, and it can also make others feel distant. Harold, for example, had always been someone who took pride in his appearance. In his younger years, he would go to the barber every couple of weeks, get his nails trimmed regularly, and dress sharp. But after he retired, he began slipping. It started with little things. He'd skip a shower here and there, forget to shave, and put on the same comfortable clothes for several days. It wasn't intentional, it was just easier. But over time, he started noticing that people treated him differently. His kids didn't seem as eager to visit. And when he went out for walks, people seemed to avoid eye contact. He couldn't quite figure out why, but he eventually realized that his grooming habits had become a reflection of how he was starting to feel about himself. Less energized, less engaged. And here's the thing, when you don't make an effort with personal grooming, it affects you on an emotional level. Feeling clean, well-groomed and put together has a huge impact on your mental state. It gives you confidence and lets you feel ready to face the world with pride. A fresh haircut or clean clothes don't just change how others see you, they change how you see yourself. Think about how good you feel after a fresh shower or shave. It's not just about looking better, it's about feeling better. There's something about taking those extra steps to care for yourself that boosts your mood, and when you feel good about yourself, others can sense it too. People are drawn to energy, positivity and self-respect, and that starts with something as simple as taking care of your personal hygiene. Start by setting up a simple grooming routine that fits your lifestyle. You don't have to be over the top about it, just do what makes you feel comfortable and confident. Try setting reminders for small grooming tasks, like trimming nails, taking a shower at least once a day, or scheduling a haircut every couple of weeks. It doesn't need to be a major overhaul, but these little steps will help you feel more energized and look more approachable. Even putting on a clean shirt or a bit of cologne can make a big difference in your confidence and how others perceive you. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about consistency. These small habits not only boost your self-esteem, but also improve how you connect with others. So take a few moments every day to care for yourself. After all, you deserve it. And the next time you look in the mirror, you'll be reminded that it's never too late to feel good about yourself and put your best foot forward. Talking only about health problems. As we age, it's natural to face health challenges. Whether it's aches, pains, or new diagnoses, these issues become a part of our daily lives. And sharing these struggles with friends and family can be comforting. It's how we connect, how we vent, and sometimes it's the only thing on our minds. But there's a fine line between sharing concerns and letting those health problems dominate every conversation. Take Harold, for instance. Over time, his health began to decline. He had a bad knee, struggled with hearing loss, and was always dealing with something new. His family and friends were always supportive, of course, but the more Harold talked about his health, the more he noticed the conversations becoming shorter. His kids started cutting him off, his friends seemed distracted, and even his neighbours stopped making the usual effort to stop by. At first, Harold couldn't understand why. He thought, "I'm just talking about what's going on in my life." But the truth was, constant focus on health problems can unintentionally become a drain on those around us. While it's completely normal to share our struggles, if we're not careful, it can overshadow other important topics and create a cycle of negativity. People enjoy talking about a variety of things, hobbies, stories, experiences, and even just light-hearted conversations about the world around us. And it's not that your health doesn't matter, it absolutely does. But if your conversations are centered solely around ailments and health issues, it can unintentionally alienate others. Not because they don't care about you, but because they also want to connect with you on a broader level. To maintain meaningful connections, try to mix up the topics you discuss. Sure, health will come up from time to time, that's unavoidable. But don't let it dominate every conversation. Talk about books you've read recently, a movie that made you laugh, or a funny memory from your childhood. Ask about other people's lives. People love sharing their stories too. It helps to remind both you and them that there's more to life than health problems. When you start shifting your focus, you'll notice a change. The conversations will feel more balanced and people will look forward to talking with you. They won't feel overwhelmed by constant reminders of struggles. Instead, they'll be excited to catch up on all the positive things in your life. By opening up to a wider range of topics, you'll find that your relationships become stronger. The energy shifts from a place of struggle to a place of sharing and enjoying life together. So, next time you feel tempted to dive into a health conversation, think about mixing it up with something light-hearted or engaging. People want to know the whole you, not just the version dealing with health challenges. Hoarding and refusing to let go of things. As we grow older, it's natural to hold on to things that have sentimental value. Photos, mementos, and the keepsakes we've collected over a lifetime carry memories that feel irreplaceable. However, as time goes on, many seniors find themselves holding on to more than they truly need: old clothes, unused appliances, and stacks of papers. What starts as a desire to preserve the past can unintentionally turn into hoarding, which can cause not just physical clutter, but emotional and relational strain as well. Harold experienced this firsthand. His home was filled with old books he'd never read, clothes from decades ago that no longer fit, and boxes of trinkets that once had meaning but now sat gathering dust. At first, Harold didn't see the problem. Each item had a memory attached to it. His first car keys, his children's baby clothes, and countless souvenirs from vacations he'd taken. But as his home became more crowded, he noticed it was harder to find space for new things, harder to move around, and even harder to relax. His children, who had once enjoyed visiting, now avoided coming over. Every time they did, they would comment on the clutter or offer to help clean up, but Harold felt defensive. These things are part of me, he'd think. What Harold didn't realize was that this habit was not just creating physical stress, it was also starting to affect his relationships. His children were frustrated because they couldn't help him declutter without feeling like they were intruding or criticizing his past. They began to visit less often because the environment felt overwhelming. Harold's own sense of emotional attachment to the items was clouding his ability to see how his actions were impacting the people around him. It's time to let go. The first step is recognizing that things don't carry the emotional weight we sometimes think they do. Yes, a photo album or an old letter might bring back memories, but the emotions attached to those memories are what truly matter, not the physical objects themselves. Try taking small steps toward decluttering. Start with one room or even one drawer. Ask yourself, does this item bring me joy or serve a practical purpose in my life today? If not, it might be time to let go. Donating items to a charity or even giving them to family members who would appreciate them can also make the process feel more rewarding. The best part is, as you declutter, you create space for new experiences, new memories, and a sense of calm in your environment. It's freeing, not just physically, but emotionally. And when your family sees that you're taking the steps to create a more organized, inviting space, they'll feel more comfortable visiting, spending time with you and helping you maintain it. But the next habit secretly damages relationships in ways you may never have realized. The key takeaway here is that letting go doesn't mean losing the past. It means freeing yourself to embrace the present. Your memories will always live with you, regardless of what physical objects remain. So, take a step back, assess what truly matters, and clear away what no longer serves you. You'll feel lighter, and your relationships will be better for it. Becoming unintentionally rude or blunt. As we get older, we often hear the saying, "You can't teach an old dog new tricks." While there's truth in the idea that our habits become ingrained, there's also a tendency for our filters, those internal mechanisms that guide our speech and actions, to weaken as we age. Over time, we might say things that seem completely harmless to us, but to others, they can come off as blunt, rude, or even hurtful. It's not intentional, of course. In fact, most of the time, we simply forget to soften our words or consider the impact of our tone. Harold, for instance, never thought of himself as rude. He was a straight shooter, a man who said what he thought and valued honesty above all else. But lately, he noticed that his conversations were getting more tense. His daughter Claire started withdrawing, his friends became less chatty, and even the neighbour, Mrs. Green, didn't stop to chat like she used to. Harold was confused. He hadn't changed his intentions, just his words, yet people seemed more sensitive to what he said, and he couldn't quite figure out why. The reality is, Harold's filter had weakened. He'd always prided himself on being honest, but what he saw as telling it like it is, others interpreted as bluntness or criticism. For example, he might comment on how his daughter's house was a little too messy, or tell a friend that their clothes didn't look as good as they used to. To him, these were just casual observations, but to others, they came across as hurtful and unsupportive. In time, his relationships with family and friends began to feel strained. It's not uncommon for seniors to feel a loss of inhibition. After all, as we age, we may feel that we've earned the right to speak our minds, or that people should accept us for who we are. And while there's value in being authentic, it's important to remember that the way we express our truths can have a significant impact on the people around us. To maintain healthy relationships, it's crucial to recognize when our words might unintentionally cross a line. Here's an easy fix. Before speaking, ask yourself, would I have said this at 30? This simple question can help you pause and evaluate whether your words are necessary, kind, or constructive. It's not about changing who you are or silencing your voice. It's about being mindful of how your message will be received. For example, instead of saying, "Your house is a mess," try something like, "I know how busy you've been, but would you like a hand cleaning up a bit?" This way, you're still being honest and offering help without sounding critical. Or instead of commenting on someone's appearance, ask about their day or talk about something positive you've noticed about them. This approach not only preserves relationships but also encourages healthier, more thoughtful communication. You'll find that people are more willing to engage when they feel respected and understood. And when they feel heard, they'll be more likely to stick around and support you in return. Ignoring new technology. For many seniors, the world of modern technology can feel overwhelming, and it's not hard to see why. The constant stream of new gadgets, apps and platforms can seem confusing or even intimidating. With every new device comes a new learning curve, and it's easy to feel like you're being left behind. But here's the thing. Avoiding new technology can inadvertently isolate you from the people you love the most. Your children, grandchildren, and even close friends might be using technology to stay connected, and if you're not participating, you risk missing out on important moments and experiences. Take Harold, for example. While he was content with his old flip phone and still preferred face-to-face conversations, he noticed that his grandkids were always on their smartphones, texting or sending photos. Harold loved his grandchildren dearly, but lately he was feeling disconnected. He'd hear about their latest school projects or see photos of their trips, but it felt like he was always hearing the stories a few days late. His daughter Claire had suggested he learn how to use video calling, but Harold wasn't interested. "I don't need all that technology," he thought. "What's wrong with a phone call?" But as time passed, Harold started to feel more and more excluded. He wanted to be a part of his grandkids' lives, to see their smiles in real time, to hear their voices when they were excited. The more he avoided technology, the more he felt like an outsider in his own family. And it wasn't just his grandkids. His friends were also using video calls to stay in touch. They would chat on Zoom for hours while Harold was left feeling like he was missing out on these virtual meetups. The loneliness started creeping in. The good news is it's not too late to start. You don't have to become an expert or spend hours mastering every app out there. Start small by learning the basics. Begin with texting. Learn how to send a message, attach a picture, or even use emojis. Texting is one of the easiest ways to stay connected, and it's a great way to let your loved ones know you're thinking of them. Next, try video calls. You don't need to be tech-savvy to use platforms like FaceTime, Zoom, or Skype. Imagine being able to see your grandkids' faces in real time, hear their laughter, and share those precious moments that are happening in the now. Picture how amazing it would be to have a conversation where you can actually see each other, even if you're miles apart. It's like being in the same room together, without having to leave your home. Lastly, explore social media. Platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or even Pinterest can help you stay updated on what's happening in the lives of your family and friends. You can see photos, comment on posts, and even share updates of your own. These platforms are designed to connect people across distances, and while they can seem overwhelming at first, they are user-friendly once you get the hang of them. Imagine being able to easily share pictures with your grandkids or video chatting with them anytime you want to catch up. The world feels smaller, more connected, and so much more accessible when you're in the loop. Learning the basics doesn't have to be difficult. It's about taking one small step at a time, and soon you'll feel more comfortable navigating the digital world. And as you do, you'll start to see just how powerful technology can be in keeping you close to those who matter most. Staying connected through technology isn't just a convenience, it's a lifeline. It helps bridge the gap between generations and keeps relationships strong no matter the distance. So take the leap, embrace a little technology, and watch how it brings you closer to your loved ones. Becoming too set in your ways. As we grow older, we tend to settle into routines. These routines provide a sense of comfort and stability, and after a lifetime of working, raising families and managing responsibilities, it's only natural to want things to stay predictable and familiar. But here's the catch. Becoming too set in your ways can unintentionally create distance between you and the people around you. It can make you seem unapproachable or even resistant to change, which can alienate those who want to connect with you. Harold, for example, had lived in the same house for over 40 years. He ate the same meals, took the same route to the store, and had the same friends from decades ago. He found comfort in routine and resisted anything that felt too unfamiliar. His kids knew exactly what to expect when they visited: his home, his habits, his way of doing things. But after a while, Harold noticed his children started suggesting things he wasn't interested in. "Why don't you try a new restaurant, Dad? It's just down the street." Or, "Hey, we could all go on a trip together, somewhere different this time." Harold would smile and politely decline. "I'm fine, I don't need all that change," he'd say. What Harold didn't realize was that his resistance to change was starting to create a subtle barrier. His kids wanted him to experience new things, see new places, and try new experiences. They were worried that Harold was closing himself off from the joys of life that come with embracing change, things that could make his later years more exciting, fulfilling and connected. The more Harold refused to engage with new ideas, the more he seemed set in his ways. Over time, his family started to feel that Harold wasn't as approachable or open to the world around him as he once had been. The truth is, change is a part of life, no matter how old we get. Embracing change doesn't mean you have to completely abandon your comfort zone or abandon the things you love. It just means staying curious and open to new experiences, even if they seem a little uncomfortable at first. Try new foods, even if you think you'll never like them. Explore different hobbies that pique your interest. Maybe try learning to paint or join a local book club. Take a different route to the grocery store and see what's out there. Change can be exciting, and it's a great way to keep your mind and body active. It also opens the door to new opportunities and experiences that can bring joy into your life. You don't have to make huge changes all at once. Start small by introducing one new thing into your routine each week. Maybe it's a new type of tea, or visiting a park you've never been to before, or even better, take a trip somewhere that's outside your usual destinations. If you've always gone to the same vacation spot year after year, consider a new location. Not only will this shake things up, but it will also create new memories that can spark exciting conversations with friends and family. Staying open to new ideas and experiences also shows the people around you that you're interested in connecting, growing, and living life to the fullest, no matter your age. Not taking care of posture and mobility. As we age, our bodies go through many changes, and one of the most noticeable changes is our posture and mobility. Slouching, shuffling steps, or feeling stiff when standing up can make us appear older than we really are. And it's not just about appearance. Poor posture and limited mobility can also affect how we feel about ourselves. When we don't take care of these aspects of our physical health, it can lead to discomfort, pain, and a lack of confidence, making us feel disconnected from the world around us. Harold, for example, had always been a proud, active man. He enjoyed gardening, walking around his neighborhood, and staying on top of his physical health. But in his later years, Harold found himself slouching more often, not standing up straight like he used to. His knees hurt when he walked, and getting out of a chair became a slow, deliberate process. He didn't realize how much this was affecting his daily life, until one day his daughter Claire mentioned it. "Dad, have you thought about seeing a physical therapist or stretching more? You seem to be moving slower than before." Harold felt a pang of embarrassment. He hadn't even noticed how much his posture had changed, but Claire was right. His physical decline had crept up on him, and now it was impacting not only his health, but also how others perceived him. His neighbors started offering unsolicited help when they saw him walking, and even his friends began treating him like he was more fragile than he felt. Harold realized that his lack of mobility and poor posture were affecting not only his own confidence, but also the way he interacted with the world around him. The good news is that small changes can make a big difference when it comes to improving your posture and mobility. The first step is to commit to a daily stretching routine. It doesn't have to be an intense workout session. Simple stretches can help loosen up tight muscles and improve flexibility. Stretching helps increase blood flow, reduces tension, and enhances range of motion, all of which contribute to better posture. Try incorporating stretches that target your back, shoulders, and hips. These are common areas where stiffness and slouching occur. For example, stand tall, roll your shoulders back, and gently stretch your arms over your head. Take deep breaths while holding these stretches for 15 to 30 seconds. Focus on lengthening your spine and standing as tall as possible. Next, take short walks throughout the day. Even a 10 to 15-minute walk can do wonders for your body. Walking helps improve balance, strength, and flexibility, and it's one of the easiest ways to maintain mobility. Plus, getting outdoors and moving around can improve your mood and energy levels, which are important for your overall well-being. Finally, practice good posture throughout the day. When sitting, make sure your back is straight and your feet are flat on the floor. When standing, engage your core and keep your shoulders back. It may take some time to get used to, but with practice it will become second nature. Good posture not only helps you look more confident, but also reduces strain on your body and improves your breathing. Constantly comparing the present to the past. We've all heard it before. Back in my day, things were so much better. It's a phrase that's often used to reflect on the good old days, a time when things felt simpler or when life was perceived as being more meaningful. The problem arises when this mindset becomes a constant refrain. Constantly comparing the present to the past can make others, especially younger people, tune out, feeling disconnected from the conversation. It's a natural part of aging to feel nostalgic for the past, but if we focus too much on it, we risk missing out on the beauty and opportunities in the present. Harold, for instance, often found himself reminiscing about the past. He'd talk about the days when people knew their neighbours by name, when he could walk for miles without feeling winded, or when life just felt more connected. Back in my day, you didn't need a smartphone to get by. We actually talked to each other, he would say. While Harold's memories were precious to him, his constant references to the past started to wear on his kids and friends. They didn't understand what it was like to live in the 1960s, and many of them had grown up in a very different world. Harold's nostalgic stories, though heartfelt, sometimes came off as dismissive of how the world had evolved. His daughter Claire would gently remind him, "Dad, I get it, but we're in a different world now. There's so much to appreciate here too." What Harold didn't realize was that by constantly comparing the present to the past, he was unintentionally pushing people away. His focus on how things used to be made it hard for others to relate to him. It wasn't that his memories weren't valuable, they were. It was that he wasn't leaving room to celebrate the present, and his loved ones wanted to connect with him now, not in a time they couldn't experience. It's important to cherish the past and the memories it holds, but it's equally important to embrace the present. Life today is filled with unique opportunities, and there are countless ways to enjoy and connect in the here and now. The first step is to start balancing your stories. Sure, share your favorite memories and experiences from the past, but frame them in a way that connects to the present. For example, instead of saying, "Back in my day, we didn't need a phone to keep in touch," try something like, "I remember when people used to sit down for long chats in person. Today we still do that, but now I enjoy connecting with my grandkids over video calls. It's amazing how technology brings us together even when we're far apart." This way you're still sharing your story, but you're showing that you're open to the present and how it's changed things for the better. When you talk about the past, try to connect it with something current, whether it's a modern technology, a cultural shift, or a change in your community. This creates a bridge between the old and the new, helping others see that you're not stuck in the past, but instead are appreciating the richness of the present. Another way to embrace the present is by seeking new experiences and sharing them. If there's something in the modern world that piques your interest, dive into it and share your excitement with others. Maybe you've discovered a new hobby, or you've found something about today's culture that you admire. Let your loved ones know how you're engaging with the present, rather than holding on only to the past. Cherishing the past is wonderful, but don't forget to also embrace the beauty of today. Life is unfolding right in front of us, and there's so much to experience and share with the people around us. By balancing the past with the present, you not only keep your stories fresh and engaging, but you also show others that you're open to the world as it is now. This makes you more approachable and helps you build stronger connections with younger generations who are living in the present moment. Losing a sense of humour and playfulness. As we age, it's easy to fall into the trap of taking life too seriously. The weight of responsibilities, health concerns, and the inevitable changes that come with growing older can make us feel like there's less room for fun and light-heartedness. But here's the thing. Losing your sense of humour and playfulness doesn't just make life less enjoyable. It can also make you seem distant or hard to connect with. Humour and playfulness are essential to staying young at heart, and they help us find joy in even the smallest of moments. Harold, like many seniors, found himself getting bogged down by life's challenges. His kids had grown up, his health wasn't what it used to be, and his favourite hobbies seemed less exciting. He noticed that his conversations with friends were starting to feel serious and heavy. People would ask him how he was doing, and Harold would share the details of his latest doctor's visit, the problems he was having with his house, or the aches and pains that had started to appear more frequently. While these topics were valid, they weren't exactly the most uplifting subjects to talk about. One day, his longtime friend Roger invited him over for a game of cards. They had played together for years, but this time, Harold noticed a shift. Roger was joking around, making playful remarks, and even teasing Harold about his growing collection of history books. At first, Harold felt a little uncomfortable. It had been a while since he'd joked like that, and he wasn't sure how to respond. But as the game went on, Harold found himself laughing at Roger's jokes, enjoying the playful back and forth. For the first time in a while, he realized how much fun he'd been missing out on. It's easy to forget the importance of humor and playfulness as we get older, but it's never too late to reconnect with them. Laughing often and finding humor in daily situations can make a huge difference in how we feel about life and how others perceive us. Imagine how much lighter your day would feel if you laughed more, joked with friends, or found humor in the little things. Life doesn't have to be so serious. Embracing humor will bring you joy and strengthen your bonds with others. By rediscovering humor and playfulness, you're not only enhancing your own well-being, but you're also creating an environment that's more fun and inviting for those around you. Whether it's sharing a joke with your family or enjoying a playful moment with a friend, it's these moments that make life rich and memorable. After making a few simple adjustments to his daily habits, Harold noticed something incredible. His kids started calling more often, eager to hear about his latest adventures. His friends, who had once found his conversations a little heavy, now enjoyed spending time with him, sharing laughs and new stories. Even strangers he passed by on his daily walks began smiling at him more, offering a wave or a friendly hello. By embracing small changes, like improving his posture, engaging in more playful conversations, and balancing his nostalgic stories with present-day connections, Harold was able to build deeper, more meaningful relationships and rediscover his joy for life. Aging doesn't have to mean losing connection. It means adapting, embracing new ways to relate, and thriving as we continue to grow. Harold's transformation is proof that even in our later years, we can be vibrant, connected, and full of life. Which of these habits surprised you the most? Drop a comment below. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and share it with a friend who could use a little advice today.